There's an equation when you grow up in a small rural town that every boy knows. No car, no girl. And I wanted a girl, but my parents didn't have the money to buy me a car, so I had to get a job so that you can buy a car to get a girl. And my first job was at a plumbing and electric firm, and it was a great job for a teenager. I learned how to thread pipe. I learned how to fix water heaters and furnaces. I got sent to people's houses to install the sprinkler system after they dug the ditch. And in a small town, being a teenager that knows how to do something with your hands, you do garner a level of respect that's quite awesome. So we got this new product in. It was on late night TV all the time, the handheld shower massage by Waterpik. And this got put on the counter as a display, and nothing happened for a couple of weeks, but eventually a middle-aged woman, in fact, the librarian from our town, came in and she said, "I saw that on the TV. Can somebody install that for me?" And that was the kind of job I would be sent on. I could do that by myself. It wasn't that hard to do. And I installed it at her house. And about a week later, another woman came in. And she said, "My friend got this handheld shower massager. And she's raving about it." So I went to her house and installed one, and she gave me a $5 tip. By the next 2 weeks, I had put 25 of these in around town. I had installed one for my English teacher, Mrs. Wilson. I'd installed one for the woman who cuts my family's hair. I even put one in the convent. And going in their bathroom was freaky weird. I was installing one at this house for this woman when a back door opened and a girl came in, and she was wearing a bikini, and she was from my English class. Her name was Karen. And she came walking in and was kind of surprised to see me in her house, and I said, "Hi, Karen." She said, "Hi." And I said, "Hi again." And she went in her bedroom and shut the door. Her mom said, "Oh, how do you know Karen?" I said, "Karen's in my English class." And I was done installing the shower head, so I picked everything up and left. The next day at school, I decided I was going to talk to Karen. I had an in. I'd sat next to this girl for a whole year and said like 3 words to her, but now I had something to talk about. So when she walked in the classroom, I said, "Hey, Karen, how are you enjoying that new shower massager?" Karen froze, kind of held her books like this, and turned this crazy crimson red color, and just turned and walked out. And right then, Mrs. Wilson said, "Everybody sit down and get out your last of the Mohicans." And I went to sit in my desk, and the girl who sat behind me, her name was Susan. She had this curly black hair. She always wore capri pants and long sleeve blouses that she kept buttoned all the way to the top. She said to me, "What the hell did you say to Karen?" And I said, Nothing. I just said, "How are you enjoying the shower massager?" And Susan laughed and kind of punched me in the arm. And I went, "What's so funny?" And this is where she used a term I have not heard before or since in my life. Susan said, "Karen's jilling it." And I said, "She's what?" "You know, she's jilling it. She's rubbing one out in the shower." And I just stared back with this blank face, and she went, "She's masturbating with the shower massager." I looked at her, and she had the weirdest goofy grin on her face. And I looked at Mrs. Wilson with her 2 sets of glasses hanging on chains around, and her beehive hairdo. And I realized I had installed shower massagers all over town for only women. And in my mind, each one of them was feverishly masturbating every time they took a shower. Now, I was raised Catholic. And I was a serious late bloomer. I mean, a serious late bloomer. I had barely just gotten out of puberty. And I had not masturbated yet myself. So after school, I went straight to work. And I bought one of those shower massagers and I took it home. And I installed it in my folks' bathroom. And that night, I spent a long hour in the shower. I tried any number of crazy techniques, some of them more comical than the others, and all I got was frustrated and clean. So the next day at lunch, I went straight to the source. I found Susan with her capri pants and her buttoned-up shirt, and she was sitting on a bench by herself. And I sat down and I said, "Susan, you gotta tell me how you masturbate with this shower massager." And she laughed and she threw her head back, this deep, throaty laugh. And I said, No, I'm serious. And she said, "You idiot, only girls use a shower massager." And I went, "What?" And she goes, "No, come on. There's no such thing as a 16-year-old boy that doesn't know how to masturbate." And I said, "It's not for lack of trying." She laughed, and she touched my arm. And then she brushed the hair out in front of my eyes, and she said, "You have really honest blue eyes, but I still think you're lying." And the bell rang, and she had to go to class, and I had to go to class. But as she was walking away, she turned and looked at me, and she said, "You need a teacher." And she was a good teacher.